welcome to episode number 24 of DomainVestors.tv. If you haven't been keeping track, don't worry, neither have I. But I decided, you know what, it's probably about time I figure out actually how many episodes I've done. And so I went through and I looked, and some of them are on YouTube and some of them are on Vimeo. And I looked at everything combined. I found out I've actually done 23 episodes of DomainVestors.tv, and you are now watching the 24th episode, which is pretty exciting. I'd also like to remind everybody I have a contest going on for the entire month of November. That's the DomainVestors.tv retweet contest. It's unbelievably easy to enter. All you have to do is retweet this post, retweet the next post, heck, retweet as many posts as you can think of, and whoever retweets the most posts this month wins a $50 GoDaddy gift card. I've already seen a bunch of people participating, so thank you, but if you haven't started yet, it's not too late. You can always go back in time and retweet previous posts if you'd like to. So, what is this episode going to be about? This is going to be about creating an information site. Now wait a second, I didn't say mini site. I thought the domaining world was all about talking about mini sites. It has been for a while, but if you haven't yet read my post about the death of the term mini site, you should definitely go back and read that. And really, I think that mini site has become a very broad term to describe many different types of websites, from a one-page site to a 10-page site to a site filled with videos and a site filled with text and a site with really no text but just ads. And I'll tell you this, all of those aren't mini sites. And there's actually a difference, and what I'm going to talk about is an information site. An information site is a website that, well, it has information on it that people are actually looking for. These are the sites that I've been the most successful with building. If you'd like to see an example of some of the information sites that I've built, and you want to see it before I even start talking about it, you can pause this video and check out a few of the information sites I've built. One of them that I've actually given an example of a few times is jurylaw.com. Another one is cricketgames.co.in. Another one is h1n1a.us. These are just 3 examples. If you'd like more, feel free to email me. I have over 100 information sites built, and this is the #1 way that I generate revenue from domain names. So how can you do the same? Well, I'll tell you this. It's really not as easy as building a site just for advertising. The idea of building an information site is that you're actually providing useful information. Now, I'm going to provide you with 3 steps. That's it, 3 simple steps to build an information site. But I'm not going to tell you you can build an information site in an hour, all right? It will probably take you more time to do. You'll have to see. Just depends on how good you are at the research and the writing. And if you don't want to do the writing yourself, you're going to have to find another content writer out there that can do the writing for you and do the research for you. So that could be another step. But the first step here to building an information site is content. As I've said, and many other people have said, content is king. You cannot stress this enough when it comes to building an information site. What you really want is a website that when people come to it, they find the information they're looking for. If you look at h1n1a.us, this is actually a really great example. I myself am a bit of a hypochondriac, and I'm really scared of getting sick. For those who know me, you know that I use hand sanitizer and wash my hands constantly to try to avoid getting sick. I'm in airports a lot, so that's actually really important. Well, what I did is I actually looked, using the Google AdWords keyword tool, at what people look for when they're looking for information about H1N1. And then I looked at what information was out there. I spent a couple hours actually reading information about H1N1, and I became a mini expert in it. I learned really everything that I thought was useful for somebody like myself who is afraid of getting it, wants to know the symptoms of it, wants to know the treatment of it. And I took all the information and I sat there and I took a bunch of notes. Then I sat down and actually wrote multiple pages of content that became the content for the site. This is the most important thing in an information site, and for me, the most fun, because I love learning these kind of things. With cricketgames.co.in, I sat down, and actually when I started, I didn't even know how the game of cricket was played. By the time I was done, which took a few hours, I actually learned how to play cricket. I learned cricket strategy. Pretty cool, and actually a pretty neat game, and I watched some games online also just to get even more familiar with it. And this is really what you want. You want to not necessarily be the de facto standard expert in your subject, but you want to know the information that people are looking for so that when somebody comes to your site, they actually find information. Step 1, that's it, content. The next step is site design. you want your site to be designed in a way that makes it easy for people to access information. The best way I've found to do this is to put navigation at the very top in a bar. If you go and look across the web, you'll find that a majority of websites put their navigation at the very top in a bar. This is how people are used to looking for navigation. So heck, if you want people to find the information on your site, put it in a navigation bar at the top. That's one of the first steps in site design. Next, make sure that the text is actually big enough for people to read. And you're going to be using advertising, but you have to remember, do not let the ads get in the way of the information. If you have ads, don't put ads, every paragraph have a giant ad block in between, or ads, in every which way. Really, the best way to do it, I've found, is to have ads along the side, and then have text, and you can use something like Contera, so that some of the text itself becomes links that you can make money from when people click on them. And you can also put small ad blocks, but don't laden it with ads. The idea is to let people access information, and if they find some of your ads interesting, they can click on those and you can make money as well. The next thing you want to do with an information site, and this is step 3, is SEO. Okay? You want the site to rank well in search engines, which means that you'll want to pay attention when you're writing your content. You're going to be providing useful content, but you also want to make sure to use things like anchor text and keywords that people are actually looking for, so that your site ranks well in Google and Yahoo. I've done this with many sites of mine. Stimulus Check is one of the best examples, but h1n1a.us actually ranks extremely well on the first page of Google for a number of key search terms related to H1N1, and Cricket Games actually ranks well in India when you're searching for things related to cricket games. And so the idea is your site actually has valuable information on it. Yes, you have advertising, but notice that was not in my 3 steps, because the goal here is building the information site. When you want to put ads on it, that's a whole other ballgame. That's easy to do. You can use AdSense, you can use Amazon products, you can use Commission Junction products, but the focus should be following these 3 steps, which is write good content based on research that you yourself have done so that you're providing people with factual information about the subject. You want a site design that's easy to navigate and has the text in an easy to read format with a nice header so that it looks like a brand, and you want to have good SEO. You want to be able to have keywords and anchor text so that the search engines will rank your site well. And another little tidbit I'll throw in here on the SEO part is use a service like Helium or EasyArticles.com to write a few articles about your subject linking to your site. This will provide valuable backlinks to your information site, and in the end will pay off dramatically when it comes to search engine rankings. Well, that's it. Those are my 3 steps to building an information site. Hope that's useful to all of you. Of course, do not forget to enter my contest and retweet this post and every other post you can find. Whoever retweets the most posts gets a $50 gift card at GoDaddy. Thanks for watching DomainInvestors.tv and our 24th episode. Stay tuned for episode 25 and have a great week.